One of the things economic development wanted to do was to start recognizing a small business of the year. This came about based on a sabbatical I took several years ago where I went to Loveland and Littleton, Colorado, in which those two communities have, where they started a concept called economic gardening, which is growing your local businesses. One of the things that we're going to do over the next few years in economic development is not only promote a small business of the year, but go to each one of the small businesses and find out what they need to do to succeed, or continue to succeed, or to expand in the future. One of the things that we think needs to be done is to recognize that business, or a business or a group of businesses each year. The criteria for this business is, one, they must be locally owned. They must be within a 7-mile radius of the city limits, of the city of Eunice, which is considered our trade area. If they're not locally owned, they cannot be considered. We've already started taking nominations. We've got about 12 local companies that have already been nominated. Some of the things that they have to be is they have to be in business for more than 3 years. That's probably eventually going to be changed to 5 years, because it's usually after 5 years is when the survival rate increases. But right now it's 3 years. We're looking at their reputation as a business within the community. We're looking at the reputation of the owners. We're looking at if they have community service, something besides their own, just doing what's best for them, but actually reaching out and doing other things. We're looking at the appearance of the business. We're looking at sales and sales growth. We're looking at employees and the type of employees. We're looking at the fact whether or not they have benefits for their employees. One of the things that's under discussion now is whether they would like to see 10% of the employees not be representative of what the owner is. In other words, if it's owned by a male, 10% should be minority, women, or handicapped. If it's owned by a female, 10% should at least be men, minorities, or handicapped. That's the kind of businesses that we're looking for. And we've been having nominations through email, by the phone, by letter. So it's open any way you can get to us. We'd like to have it. Are there any questions? No questions? Yes?
How long, when is the deadline for doing it?
We're going to, October 30th is going to be the cutoff date. So July 1st through October 30th. We've actually already started. Originally we're going to start July 30th. July 1st, but we started in May. We started having, once it came out in the newspaper, we started getting nominations. And we'll start delivering next week those forms to the different companies that have been nominated. We personally deliver to them an explanation of what it's about. There are a lot of good companies we'd like for them to be considered, and you know some companies. I can't nominate companies. I probably could name 30 that would qualify. But I think most of you know a company that you do business with, that you like, that represents the community real good, represents themselves to the community, services the community. That's the type of person we're looking for, the type of small business we're looking for. We don't care. We're looking, the business cannot be more than 50 employees. And right now we have 3 to 20. One business as small as 3, the other one is large as 27. You had a question?
Well, you just answered. I was wondering how small and how big. So if it's a company with 3 employees, they can still qualify.
Somebody with 2 employees can qualify. I'm just saying that right now, that's the range we've got.
And Fred, for locally owned, is it the same thing, 7 mile?
Yeah, anything within the 7 mile, it could be any business within a 7 mile radius. I think the furthest out right now is about 4 miles.
But what I mean is you have a business in Eunice owned by somebody who, let's say, lives in Iowa or Rotel, that counts if it's in the same.
If it's in that 7 mile, but that has to be a locally owned. They can't live in Opelousas, they can't live in Crowley, they can't live in Lafayette. We've got several businesses here that are successful small businesses that are owned by people outside that trade area that can't be considered.